Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rogue Trader playthrough. Last time, in episode number 43, we made it to the Atrium where we protected some refugees from one of the worlds under our command, intending to interrogate them later. We also briefly passed by Hieronymus Doloroso, who Argenta wants to talk to, and we mainly came over to say hello, or he mainly came over to try to stop them from passing judgment on those refugees. So it's our turn to figure out what the heck's going on. After we talk with Doloroso, of course. So yeah. Hieronymus Doloroso. A man with a face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bones, fixes his unblinking bird-like eyes on you. Priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments, and they do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice he says, "The Emperor protects." Who are you? I am Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, as I'm called, head of the Drusian mission and possibly the last hope for the wayward souls that inhabit this fringe forsaken by our master. The Emperor protects, Reverend, but he protects only those who are pure of heart. Do you think yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from it into the embrace of pride most degenerate. Oh my god. This guy strikes me as Heretic 101, aka, what's his face? St. Basilius II Electric Boogaloo. Anyways. And you must be the young von Valancius. That name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one, for its reputation suggests that Theodora encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them, or will you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit and savoring their sweet poison? I've heard that many exalt the deeds of your intellect and call your wisdom a gift from the Emperor himself. Fools! Do they not know that the seeds of heresy sprout quickest in an enlightened mind? Understanding only erodes the will to act. Okay, this dude is... what, do you think everything is heresy? He's gotta be a chaos worshipper. How do you know who I am? The Emperor has blessed me with acute hearing, and the people did the rest. How many members of your crew do you think came to confess the moment they arrived in port? How long do you suppose it took me to piece together the truth from their words? He's definitely a heretic. When his test succeeded, the priest's voice is rasping and harsh, but he still managed to pick up a strange change in tone. Something hidden behind this shift in his speech, and something that he did not consider necessary to explain. Saying Theodora was a transgressor? A woman of great gifts, but few considered virtue to be one of them. People whispered that power had corrupted her, made her believe that she was entitled to anything she wanted. It's known that she showed cordiality to Xenos, broke taboo, and violated dogmas. Again, so do nearly all rogue traders. Traders of the Emperor's anointed. I acted his command as evidenced by his signature on my warrant. And did he grant it to you personally? The Emperor has entrusted his servants with the future of humanity, but people are too weak and flawed to prove themselves worthy of his trust. His suffering can cleanse us, but we fear it, and thus remain sullied. Make the sign of the Holy Aquila. I put my faith in the Emperor. Persuasion test succeeded. Gives you a scrutinizing look, then his tone softens. Well, then be twice as diligent, for this sector will seize any chance to test your faith. Gained 8 experience, dogmatic +4. Said Argenta was standing nearby, and his voice softened slightly. Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful? It was. Reverend, let it be known to you that Theodora von Valancius' ship was attacked by servants of the arch-enemy who appall the heart of any righteous soul, she says, nearly hissing with fury. That not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed Rogue Trader's crew and help protect the von Valancius Dynasty from the forces of the arch-enemy. I am divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the Footfall Reliquary. Would add something to that if it weren't so beneath me. Frankly, I have no need to assist her again as a escort. I read those two while I was trying to read what she was saying. I was like, what the... Okay, someone's been harsh. Say nothing. Sister Argenta stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Hieronymus nods in thought. Follow the call of your soul, sister. The footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival. Hieronymus smiles sadly. I know what it is that calls you to follow the rogue trader, Sister Argenta. Seek combat, for it truly helps you to forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It's the illusion of meeting. Perhaps you will relinquish this illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path. Before you start on a path toward your new destiny, I have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most dispossessed people on Footfall. Brought me troubling news from Footfall's shadow quarters. Darkest corners where the liege's wardens do not venture, taint has taken root. Footfall is consummately consumed by profanity. But even here, true heresy, serving the archenemy, is a rarity. The cultists who now dwell in the shadow quarters mark their abodes with a sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform strange rituals in secret. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I well know that evil lurks all around us, and I wish to see retribution. Tzeentch worshippers! Or perhaps even the return of the Auroran cult. Come across heresy surprisingly often these days. Indeed. Because here's the thing, that word bearer claimed to be Aurora. Who's to say that word bearer wasn't just the voice of a demon? I'm actually kind of concerned about that. Indeed, dark times are upon us, and wretched souls grow ever more eager to embrace heresy. Both on Footfall and elsewhere, its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kiava Gamma. Just recently, a transport ship by the name of Navika, teeming with refugees, arrived on Footfall from Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, and such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The Navika. Okay, we gotta figure them out. The liege refused to accept them, and so they headed for Foulstone, desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness. We will verify this rumor. Actually, no. Why don't you go to the liege with this matter? I do not walk the paths pleasing to the liege. Hieronymus frowns. Vadaeum is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please his Caspalica masters, those peddlers of relics of the unholy Xenos. We will verify this rumor, Reverend. With great pleasure. Argenta puts her hand on the stock of her weapon. I wish for the rumor to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics. This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Max Schreiber, is there anything more you wish to ask me about? What are you doing on Footfall? What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Kronos expanse. It's a point of arrival for those who have just started on their path, and it is also where those who are reaching its very end return, their souls wounded and bleeding. Brace both the former and the latter, so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector are massive Footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about a reclaimed shrine world, or expressing a desire to carry the Emperor's light to the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material, tools, equipment, even garments, and simple everyday items. Anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. Path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost his radiance, steeped in depravity. Blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service. Hieronymus is silent for a few seconds, and all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the wasteland wayfarer, ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. This astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cinerus Maleficum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. Okay, so we got another one. Bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you, on your travels, come upon dangerous, corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Drusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader. So here's where we can trade with the Drusians. Now, if I go to, I don't remember where, I can figure out each I'm gonna probably try to get the Drusians and the Explorators on side. I don't know about the rest, though. Tell me about yourself. Neither my past nor my present hold any secrets, but take heed when gazing into my heart, for many dark thoughts lurk within. What is troubling your heart? Bad omens. Dark times have come. Ships from the Imperium barely appear in the Kronos expanse anymore. Footfalls shadow quarters. Taint thrives, and the people here are corrupt enough to succumb to it gladly. Rumors around the expanse say that the accursed Xenos have grown bold and are rearing their heads. Attack ships and settlements. Walk under the sons of the Imperium. Of Imperium worlds, like kings instead of cowering in the shadows. What next? What adversities await us if such disgrace is happening already? He shakes his head sternly. There's more and more talk of how poorly things are going in the expanse. Some days it seems I can't take 2 steps without hearing some peasant pontificating on the matter. And if it is, as dire as to say, the von Valancius realm will not crumble under the blows of fate, no matter how devastating. Chin up, Lord Captain. This is no time to lose heart and lament your lot, which I wouldn't. Not only is your hope false, it is also dangerous. Among his servants there have been people of greater integrity, sullied themselves in their attempt to rise above the rest. Who were you in the past? A wretched fiend, blinded by my ambitions, served in my home planet's Adeptus Administratum division, was a shrewd and sly bureaucrat, and I soared to great heights to the very chair of prefect. 30 years I turned my home from a withered fringe colony to a prosperous world. Wealth grew as we bloomed. The bloom was a veneer for rot. Opulence had depraved us, and luxury had seduced us with its sordid promises. Planet's denizens no longer wished to pray or work. They only sought entertainment and dangerous philosophies. 1,000 vile heresies and 1,000,000 appalling vices bred on my world like mold on a nutribar. In those days, saw with my own eyes the shameless ugliness of the soul. I repented of my hubris, left the position of prefect, and became a traveling missionary. Been one ever since. As for my world, 20 years later, the Holy Inquisition consigned it to purifying flames. Such was my path to faith. Tell me more about the Drusians. We are a sanctioned imperial cult which honors St. Drusus, scourge of the Baal Childer, bane of Xenos. Just as he once fearlessly ventured into the Calixtus sector and spearheaded its conquest, so do we travel to untamed reaches and expand the Imperium's borders. We are pilgrims and scouts who descend into the darkness of lawless sectors, and our eyes are inured to vice and filth. Just as St. Drusus found his martyr's death and was reborn in faith, so do we search for the purifying power of trials and suffering. From the folds of his black robe, he produces a thin pamphlet. Read this. Continue the basics of our dogma. Perhaps you, too, will sense the truth in St. Drusus's words. Received Reverend Hieronymus' teaching on the path of St. Drusus. Who was St. Drusus? He was a great saint, irrepressible and decisive. Drusus served the emperor as a simple member of the guard, who fought in the glorious Angevin Crusade and rose to the rank of general. It was a grueling conquest. The Imperium invaded the Calixtus sector, back then a savage expanse populated by Xenos and heretics. Drusus delivered many defeats unto the enemies of humanity. He brought down the twisted kings on acreage, liberated the planet Dreh from the unholy dark demons, and had many triumphs. Then they encountered a race of unholy Xenos. Rivers of blood flowed. Golgana Angevin died in his headquarters, the crusade about to crumble, but then we received help, unexpected help from a foe. The Xenos sent their assassins to the great Drusus, but the Emperor's will shielded his servant from the attack. Slain but resurrected through a miracle, Drusus asserted himself at the head of the Angevin Crusade as its Lord Militant, saw the Xenos extermination through to the end. He brought the Calixtus sector to a court and was proclaimed a living saint. Lore Imperium test succeeded. Funny, the story of St. Drusus, you know, is completely different. Heard accounts that Drusus wasn't a guardsman, but an aristocrat, and it was contenders for Golgana's position made an attempt on his life, and he didn't rise from the dead. The assassins just decided not to kill him. Hieronymus looks at you with a smirk. Well, of course you've heard that, but just consider for a moment whose words you're repeating right now. You want to put them into your head? Do they mean the Imperium well? Think on it. I would tend to believe that it... Here's the thing. I would tend to believe Hieronymus' story But the story that we just told him sounds all too plausible. Surprised that you had any to begin with. I have a question about faith. My sermon planted the seed of faith in the heart of another rogue trader once, Incendia Chorda. Perhaps you are destined to become my second fledgling. Tell me more about the Emperor. I think it is so easy to put into words his essence and splendor. The Emperor is the perfect deity that reads our hearts and grants us his light. He led humanity out of darkness and horror. He created our great home, experienced torment and pain which only made him stronger. That is a lesson to us all. Pain, or purity, is not to be found at the bottom of the dirtiest hive in golden palaces, but only among the ranks of those who suffer. Argenta silently makes a sign of Aquila, her bright eyes burning with unyielding flame. Tell me about Incendia Chorda. Have you ever heard of Aspice Chorda, pirate, blasphemer, xenophile, and egregious apostate? Incendia is her heir, rarity among rogue traders. Protection of the holy warrant typically leads to the swift atrophy of conscience and pious dread, but not in Incendia's case. She relentlessly hunts down pirates and firebrands and brings rebelling colonies to repentance, establishing strict discipline. The weight of her wrath. It is great indeed. The colonies she punishes are girded with orbital rings of heretic corpses as a warning to the survivors. To personal confessor and guide, I find no end to the joy her triumphs and faith bring me. Since when is orchestrating massacres a sign of virtue? Iconoclast +2. There aren't massacres. This is a war on apostasy and treason, and in this war, Incendia Chorda is inflicting grievous wounds upon the wicked. Proper way to worship the Emperor. Pray to him, destroy his enemies, and touch not their poison gifts. Cast aside all doubt and be vigilant against the weak souls beside you. When you see a sign of taint, burn it away without pity. Pain is good. It tears the crust of vileness from one's soul. Remember that if you see no fault in you or around you, then you are not being diligent enough in your search, or you're being too lenient on yourself, averting your eyes from the truth. Yeah, I'm starting to think Hieronymus Doloroso is a heretic. He's either just insane, like insanely fanatic, or he's a heretic. There is no other option. And it's kind of concerning that there might be a heretic in charge of the stuff. Here, the Emperor's servants, who are they? Speak of the Adeptus Ministorum. Well, these heralds of his word hold great power. Every priest, myself included, is part of its hierarchy, and the ecclesiarchy possesses the unique right to judge what is virtuous and what is malign. The Adeptus Ministorum sends missions such as my own to every corner of the dominion of humanity. It fights against heretics. Imagine it is very advantageous to the ecclesiarchy to pose as a congregation of saints. Forgive me for not buying any of it. I would say this without question, but I don't know. I think it's probably better to go for some more dogmatic over iconoclast. The Emperor bless his faithful servants. I think that his mercy extends that far. I've seen many who wish to be our shepherds. Power clouds their vision, and the greedy hands scoop up all they can reach. The ecclesiarchy is long overdue for a cleansing. I actually agree with him on that. And many others would find them truthful, for those who would find them heretical. I am a preacher of a radical teaching that renounces fear. I've left the frontiers of the Blessed Imperium to carry his light into the darkness of the frontier. Come to know depravity firsthand, and am now able to perceive it from under any guise. I think I can afford myself a modicum of truth. Who is the enemy of the Imperium? Its three faces: the inhuman Xenos, who wish death upon us simply because they are unlike us; pitiful subhuman mutants, abominations that wish death upon us because they envy us and are ashamed of themselves; and the arch enemy that reigns in the Immaterium, which wishes death upon us by its very nature. That's your explanation? Oh my god, that's so bad. The best way to explain the arch enemy is they wish death upon us because they fear us, knowing that we are supreme or superior to them. Whatever you want to say, something like that. Adira starts giggling at Hieronymus' words. Forgot to mention people like me. My whole life, people have told me that I'm a filth on the face of humanity. The poison, its bane. She stops abruptly with a sob. Thank you for your explanations. Think nothing of it, young von Valancius. I'd like to take a look at what the followers of St. Drusus have to offer me. Let me see. Okay, so I can grab Bloodhound Staff, which looks chaotic. It looks chaotic as AF. Enforcer Helmet, and now it's time to trade with them. Okay, so holy gifts are the most prized. Let's see what I've got. I've got a lot of armor kits. Let's hide the untradables. Let's send over some holy gifts. Ship components, uniform kit. I'll put in some armor kits. A couple of uniform kits. Ooh, jewelry's 300, okay. Let's go back up here. Armor kit. Gifts. Boom. Let's trade all of that. Now our reputation with them is 1. So we can now get these 2 things from them. Let's go here and let's give them some jewelry, some more ship components, some provisions, a uniform kit, and 2 armor kits. Okay. Should be enough trading with them. I'll have to go to our cargo manager. See what I wish to add to the cargo. This music is epic. I'm gonna keep my well-maintained sniper rifle for now. Bloodhound staff, this is for a navigator. Okay. Now I'm willing to trade that body glove. Because it'll add to the armor kit. Want to keep that. Reject the flesh. Split. Put one of them in. Let's drop the weighty axe, because I don't really need it. You know what, let's do it like that. I'll put in 2 flamers. Alright. That's enough there. Step carbine. Sights last pistol. Officer's chain sword. I want to keep that. Ooh, combat shotgun. That's way better than these. So yeah, this episode's kind of just turned into meeting the Hieronymus and figuring out the cargo situation. Taunting scream. I'd rather have that as an enforcer helmet, or like part of the Mechanicus Creations thing. And lies. There we go. I only want 1 pistol. 69, 68, 10, 5. I don't really think that I want this. What the heck? Alright, I think that's good in terms of what I want to drop off for trading. This is actually a much better screen to do it. I need to stop doing it with the full screen. Statement of heroism. Camouflage robe, that's actually kind of nice. Interrogation goggles, yeah. Commander's monocle. I don't really want the commander's monocle. I don't find that useful. Grenadier's cloak. Large medkit. Armor kit, holy vestment. I want to keep the holy vestment. I sell stuff that I can't trade. I can add this stuff to cargo. Huh.